Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, good to be with you, man. How you doing?
Good to see you, man. Doing well. Trying to get used to some new toys that we got here. That are that are probably going to be of pretty good use for the podcast. So I'm
Oh,
quite excited.
oh yeah, it's exciting times. We're leveling up, dude. We're leveling up.
Leveling up. So yeah, man. No, doing well. Not much happening on my end, dude. If you want to just jump into,
Yeah.
dispense with the pleasantries, and we can probably
Uh,
we got a ton of stuff to cover. So
Yeah, I got
it may
plenty.
it may be a good thing that we actually just move into that direction. So you watched a few things,
Yep.
and we can probably segue into our first topic on that one, but. Uh, Joel, what's up with those two duds that we had over the weekend? The Flash and Elemental. Um,
Absolutely.
pretty pretty dangerous stuff, dude. Happening with
It,
the with especially with the Disney part of it. So tell us what's
right.
happening, man.
Right. I mean, just thinking about how we saw Transformers struggle. Before that, we saw, Little Mermaid was fine, and then we have earlier in the year big movies. Your obviously Spider-Man came out, that's fine. Mario did great, whatever, right? But with the Flash and Elemental, Flash I had seen before, as you guys know. I've talked about that. And Elemental, I made a last minute decision to go and check out that film over an extended weekend. As many of you know, I've got the AMC A-list subscription, so I can see 3 movies a week in any format. So I like to put that to use because it's a nice little fun thing to do when you got some time off. Just go early and just check out a movie, and it's simple. But yeah, so I got the Flash having. I'll talk about Elemental first before I talk about the Flash. Let
Okay.
me do that. So Elemental, I went into it and I was hoping that I would get a little bit of a similar feeling to Zootopia because I really like Zootopia a lot. I think that movie's really underrated and one of those good things because like we talk a lot about how like Disney doesn't make a lot of original content recently, and a lot of their stuff is like sequels or remakes or what have you. Right. And Zootopia is extremely original, loved that. And like now Elemental seeing this, like this is a very original thing from the guys at Pixar. I want to be clear, it's not just Disney, it's Pixar, right? And I was hoping they would fall into that same kind of style where it's like kind of like an allegory, but still like just like comical and whatever. Honestly, it's really, really a nice movie. Like it's one of those movies that I think it maybe struggles a little bit with some pacing, maybe with a couple of characters, some things that I would like differently. You could check out the full review of God on the podcast on the YouTube channel for that. But just generally speaking, like it's extremely emotional, and the concept's really great. Like it's nothing that you can't take the family to go check out and just have a nice time. With that being said, it's fascinating how bad it is done at the box office, considering that there really isn't that much competition against it for a new movie in the section that it's in, right? Specifically being animated film. It is just crazy because when you think about it, Obed, for years, Pixar could not miss. Like they had Incredibles and Finding Nemo and Cars, and I mean, dude, they just had whether you liked all of them or not, like no matter what, they were hitting off really, really well with audiences.
They had um quite possibly the best streak in movie history. Like
Amazing.
they started with Toy Story, right? And I want to say that all the way up to whatever was before the Good Dinosaur, right? Because even you could probably
Oh.
just, which is funny enough, the director of Elemental is the same director as the Good Dinosaur.
No, I didn't realize
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
No,
So
I'm looking this up. That's crazy, dude. I didn't realize this.
yeah, so up until that point, right, which that was a solid, what, probably 15-year streak of putting movies You know,
Oh, you're right, dude.
like
Wow.
like friggin' Finding Nemo and Ratatouille, one of the best movies ever, right? And Up and Brave was phenomenal, right? And then yeah, you got good dialogue. I stumble in the road, right? It's like, oh, it's just a speed bump, because then you follow up with, the Toy Stories and Incredible Stew and all this stuff. Even Onward, I think Onward was very good.
Yeah.
So up until that point, right, you had a streak, and then something shifted. The clear shift, what happened was the exit of John Lasseter. When that
Mm,
happened, you can tell that whether you like it or not, whether
I know. It's
whether
true.
whatever happened with John Lasseter was true or not,
Yeah.
whatever, right? Um, it that was a turning point, and unfortunately, it's a
100%.
turning point that they have not been able to recover themselves from. And I think Pete Docter is a masterful storyteller, and um, very well deserving of the role that he's in. But something's happening, and something's not just not happening at Pixar, right? This has been a company wide thing for the last 4 years,
Hmm.
and they gotta turn this ship around, dude. These guys are gonna get absorbed. I'm telling you, Apple's gonna come in
I
and grab
think
that
so.
content thing, and they're in it for the content, right? And it's like they probably do a really good job at managing the parks, because they're probably just haven't managed, bro. At this point, I would get the management firm that manages Tokyo and have them manage the parks for Disney, like contract them,
Yeah.
and Apple can buy it. Like they're in a rough spot. It's very rough. Like people don't realize the position that Disney's in right now, and it's they're very vulnerable. I don't think that any individual is gonna go come in and get it. It does take more than one to run this kind of thing, but they're in a tough spot, and I'm hoping for the best, honestly. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame because this one is actually was a decent film. And it's a shame to see that it's not going to get anywhere near its budget. Um, yeah, that's it's pretty insane to see. I even like I got to go to Magic Kingdom over this last break, dude, over this last weekend. I actually ended up going there twice. And it was crazy because it was like for summer, it was not super crowded.
mm,
And I was shocked. Like, especially like I literally went, dude, on Father's Day. That's a
okay.
holiday.
I have
Now I
family. I have
understand that
family in
when it's a
town that's their first time coming to Disney. And it seems like they're having a good time.
which is good.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good. That's great. It's awesome.
Other
And
than the
honestly,
weather, which has been miserable, but
I know, dude. Like, I mean, there's many factors to
yeah,
crowds too, right? Weather being that way. And of all
yeah.
the holidays, it's a holiday people tend to spend with family and being home, maybe. So that could be part of it. But
That's don't want to go to Disney on Father's Day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and I totally get that. Totally get that. But you would still think like it's Magic Kingdom, it's Walt Disney World for like that is all tourists go there. And we've seen it very, very hot before. And I'm not talking about the heat. I'm talking about the amount of people. And it's just incredible to see how it is recently. Doesn't bother me. I like to have some space in the parks. Don't get me wrong. It's been crowded for a while, but just fascinating observation nonetheless. You bring out good points. They are extremely vulnerable at this time, and it is fascinating to see that we already are experiencing history, but to some extent, we could experience extreme history for the company of Disney in the very short term. Something very big could be coming because of all these big missteps, like how you've alluded to, potentially a sale or merger, some types of larger acquisitions, what have you, that could be coming in the pipeline very soon, which would be momentous if that happens. And it could be a thing that we will witness. And if we do, we'll definitely cover it on the show.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's like what I said, is like you're just looking at Universal and looking at not every movie is good that they put out, but they know their audience, right? And they play to their strengths, and they make money.
Yeah.
and they do the same thing with the parks, right? And in hindsight, right, when Comcast tried to buy Disney back in 2004, maybe that wouldn't have been so bad, honestly. Like, you know, but
I mean, their Warner acquisition didn't go too good.
Comcast didn't buy Warner.
Well, that
That's
was
AT&T.
AT&T. Sorry. Yep, wrong one. Wrong one. Take that
Oh,
back. Time,
Joe,
time stone that
Joe's
one.
snooping it up over here.
Wrong one.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like I said, Elemental, it didn't review too great. It was kind of like middle of the line sort of, reviews for Elemental. But from what I saw, it looked interesting. It didn't really, um, move my needle, but it looked fine. It looked interesting. So
Yeah, it was one of those few movies they actually did show, I think, at Cannes, and like it. I'm looking at it right now on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was also when it debuted at first, it was like rotten, and then that thing just jumped really high. It has over 177 verified reviews from critics, since that's 76%. And audience scores is 92% with the 1,000 plus
okay,
verified
that's
ratings.
good.
So it definitely has like a decent, but it doesn't matter. I guess the word of mouth, like even if people are saying, "Hey, it's a nice movie to go watch," people are like, "I don't care, I'm not going to watch it." And they need movies that get people out of their seats and out
Yeah,
of their homes and say, "I got to go to the theaters to watch." They don't need casual good movies. They need great movies. And it's
totally.
pretty sad to see that they haven't gone to that point in the recent history. We'll see. We will see. Writer strikes are not helping for sure.
No, no, the future is not too bleak. Real quick before we move into Flash, um, so and again, we've made it very clear in the past we're not that type of show.
Nope.
We are very open minded and accepting of everyone. We're not going to criticize anything, right? Um, and we know people in this field that do a phenomenal job, right? But Disney's chief diversity officer Latondra Newton left the company. Uh, Allegedly, it was amicable. Some sources are saying that it was more of firing. I don't know the extent of if her role was more of a people internal sort of role, or was she involved in the creative and storytelling process? Because if that's the case, I believe that that's probably why she left slash was let go. If I don't want to speculate, right? But uh, a lot of people are saying, I was like, this is getting rid of DI. No, they're not. They're not. Like they're pioneers when it comes to diversity and inclusion. They are not moving away from it. So don't think that you've won, crazies. Um,
I
the
mean, if anything, they're probably announce a replacement like very soon.
Yeah, yeah, and it's gonna, and that exactly. I think what happens, right, is that when so and we've seen it like with some of the Marvel stuff, and we've seen it with unfortunately we've seen it with Star Wars. Um, if you can't, right, and you cannot keep flipping the narrative and making these creative choices that are going to alienate the people that are going to pay for your product, right? So, in the case of Star Wars, right, there's rumors about the Acolyte out there. I'm not going to talk about it because, we're not that kind of show again. But it's, you know, you have to take care of the people that build your product first, and then you can start reaching out to new audiences. And this whole abandonment of let's Avengers Endgame happened, let's not do anything with any one of these guys, and let's go for the MCU. And you know, yeah, you're trying to reach out to a new audience, but what's going to happen to your old the people that got you there? You can't forget about them, right? I think that you can someone with someone with like the business acumen of Bob Iger would probably understand this, right? Where you can have synergy between the both, and that way your brand is going to keep growing. But I don't know who's making the choices. Is it Bob? Is it this? Is it other people that are not creatives making creative choices? And right, and you can have both. You can synergize. You can have your old. You could have had your old school. Let's bring everyone back. Star Wars thing. Have Luke, Han, and Leia and the Falcon again. Right, and you can have your Ray thing. You can do all of it at the same time. You don't have to destroy one to like burn the past, right? Like freaking Kylo Ren. It's like kill the past if you need to, but um, you don't have to do that, right? Because then the people that got you there are gonna feel betrayed. They're not gonna keep supporting your product, and then you're going to start building a new fan base. So would you rather? So could you imagine PlayStation just abandoning single player storytelling focused games for free to play experiences because they want to reach out to this whole new thing that they have right out there, right? Like the, you know, no, they're not. Right, they're not. I mean, dude, like the best example I can give you, bro, because this, like, again, gaming being in the forefront of entertainment.
Yeah.
Capcom. Remember when Capcom was, it's like when Street Fighter 4, DMC 4, Lost Planet, Monster Hunter, all this fantastic experiences that started coming out. And then a couple years later, oh, Capcom is refocusing into making more Western oriented games. And then for like a good 5, 7 years, it was known as Crapcom. And that lasted for a while, dude. And look at them now. It's like freaking top of the world, right? Monster Hunter is like selling crazy. Street Fighter 6 is doing incredibly well. We have, games like DMC5 and other games that they're working on and bringing old franchises back and trying new things. And now Capcom's like in freaking top of the world because they realized that the choices that they had made for that period of time did not work. So they had to backtrack it. That's the best example I can give you, right? If Disney pulls this off, right? And if Disney pulls a Capcom, then they'll be fine. If not, I don't know, man. They gotta turn this ship around sooner rather than later because it's getting rocks the and I don't want to sound like you know I guess contemporary you get with on the news topics, but the glacier is almost there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and you can get lost in that submarine trying to look for it. So the wreckage of Disney. So
Wow, that was hey,
hey, hey, G, shout
paints
out
the
to my boy
picture.
Jimmy.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Flash. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just real quickly though, on what you were saying though, I think you're right on like the whole idea of like you don't have to pull down like tear down the past to promote the future. Like they can be parallel. Like you don't need to. And I think it goes for so many things in life, too. Like you don't have to put someone else down or put something else down to promote yourself. Like it doesn't need to be that way. And it's
Yeah,
just it's a great life lesson. It's a great point. And like I my thing is though, like the whole like MCU thing, like that's I have very mixed feelings about it because I don't fully read it that way. It's like I just think like most people like most people understood like after Captain America's gone and Iron Man's gone, like Thor was the only guy dude you had left or whatever, like around for stuff. Then you bring in these other characters, and it's like I think most people are open minded to it. It just wasn't that good. Like that was the thing. The issue is like you can have new stuff, but you just need to make good content. And when your best stuff is like Loki and WandaVision, Like those are the characters
Yeah.
we've seen before, great, but like make quality content, make the content be the first thing because that's why everyone's basically saying you just want cash or Disney's become a cash grab company. You raise prices on things. How are you raising the price on Disney Plus but the content's not living up to people's expectations? Of course you're going to have a huge decline in subscribers in the next quarter and it's historic. These
Yeah.
things like are like it's very obvious economics and business. We understand business, you and I, like we know how the corporate world works. It's extremely obvious the results and the analytics, what's telling us. I just hope that the people at the top over there at Disney are
That's
able to
another.
make choices based on these things.
Yeah, that's another one. I mean, like analytics have been hot for a minute now, and
Yeah.
where's this? Where's Disney's like analytics teams? Like,
I
what are
mean,
these guys? What are these guys doing?
yeah.
Is it like the meme with the room full of monkeys on typewriters?
Or they do
Just
have maybe they do have the numbers, but again, the people at the top are just living in la la land. Like, and this is probably why they had to get Bob back because it was pretty bad for a while, and it's gonna take if it took them a while to get into a bad spot, it's gonna take them a while to get out of it. But man, I hope so. Flash. So another great story of success. No, so I actually went and watched it because, as you know, I got the early screening. That's another one you can check out those videos on the channel, guys. But I wanted to see it again because I didn't see they didn't show us the post credit scene, and the very end of the movie was extremely obvious. It just cut early without getting, I'm not gonna talk about it because there's spoilers videos and
yeah,
stuff. Even though I didn't do another video after I've seen it, I probably could make another video after that.
follow up.
Maybe I don't know if
You'll
it's
do a
worth it.
short.
I could do a short. That's
Yeah,
true.
there you go.
YouTube short. Um, but essentially, like I was shocked because when I saw the advanced screening, my thought was they made it clear to us. One, they literally stopped. They said, everyone here in press row. Like they looked over to them and said, okay, press. We are showing you guys an early version that is not the final cut. The director wanted us to tell you, like, this is very, very early. This is not going to be the final cut. Whatever. I was like, okay, I hear that. And then you start, like you have to watch it through a different lens because you understand that things are incomplete. So I figured that meant that like a lot of the CGI and a lot of different like moments were just, hey, like that just because it's incomplete, it's not going to be done yet. Spoiler alert, it's been years now. I saw Top Gun Maverick the same way. I saw Top Gun Maverick like literally 2 years before that movie ever
Before the
came out.
pandemic, yeah,
Literally, dude. I saw that movie way early,
it's
right?
crazy.
Ended up being one of the best movies of all time. And ironically, there's a lot of that movie that changed. Like the version that I saw, definitely they fixed stuff. It wasn't terrible, but they definitely fixed stuff. But when I think about like this here, I thought the same thing. Like, oh, they're gonna fix stuff, whatever. Then you watch and you're like, oh snap! I can't believe that they did not fix the CGI. I cannot believe that they didn't fix these moments. And yeah, it's not that when people complain about the CGI, Obed, it's not like that the whole movie CGI is bad. Like I think that there's been some people who have mischaracterized it. It's really just specifically, and I'm not spoiling anything. It's just specifically whenever you get into the Speed Force, like when he is inside the whole time travel mechanism that we know from the Flashpoint storyline, like when he gets into that kind of stuff. That's not me spoiling anything. Like that's when it gets bad. Like all of a sudden, it just looks like a PS2 graphics, or something, maybe PS3, and you're like, "What is this? Like, this is terrible." And then this is why, and it's funny because I didn't. This is before the comparisons started going on the internet everywhere. But I was like, Zack Snyder did more in his basement during COVID, like with his visual effects, than
Right.
these people did with 3-4 years of trying to work on this movie. However long this movie's been postponed forever. So it's just so weird. But think about it, Obed. Marvel has been known. There's this stuff has come out that apparently before even movies even come out, they're already working on visual effects now for their films.
Yeah,
Like you remember the whole like Thanos fight in Infinity War. They said like that was like 4 years ago they were working on that design.
Yep.
So people got mad, like, oh, that if the storytellers aren't getting to do their story because these scenes are already being figured out before. I'm like, well, yes and no. Like, this is why you have a producer that understands the main storyline where they're leading to, and how that gets factored in. I'm sure, but I digress.
Exactly.
My point being is, it's like, did they not have a good vision on where they really wanted to go with this, and they ran out of time? Because they definitely had to run out of money. They had the money. They took the time to reshoot things, whatever. It's just very, very bizarre. regardless, Obed, I still like the movie. I think that it's still a good movie.
That's good.
Most of the complaints I've seen people around it, I feel like it's unfortunate they are not being, as we talk about, level-headed fans. I have been an extremely vocal about how much I did not care for Ezra Miller. This is before any of the stuff even came out. I was like,
Yeah.
I just did not like the portrayal, whatever. And it just didn't change even
yeah.
still. But in this movie, Ezra does a good job. I can't lie about that, dude. Like it works well.
And I think the movie is suffering from just having the baggage associated with it, and fans know, right? It's like casuals don't like we've said it before. Like casuals don't care. Fans know what's up, and then fans are gonna they're gonna pick it apart. They're gonna go, it's like, oh, this is the thing from that happened 3 years ago, and they're not gonna be able to put the artist aside from the artistry, right? And and it had baggage from that, and the movie getting delayed so much, and then Michael Keaton being in it, and then Michael Keaton getting the or the Batgirl movie getting canceled, and the Batman Beyond movie getting canceled. So there's a lot of baggage associated with this movie, right? Do you think it's gonna make 200?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
No, domestic, I don't know. I'm not confident on that. Ooh, I'm not confident on that domestically. World end in all, I think it will hit over 200, but it's not going to be by much because, like we talked before, the only thing that would help it was it had this this weekend is the one weekend it has to kind of be, give it some space, and then next weekend you have Indy. And as much as Indiana Jones is another one, you hear about that. It's one of those ones that it's definitely not going to break the bank, but that movie is going to do numbers that's going to take away from Flash. Like people, it's not going to break the bank, but it's going to do something that's going to affect it. Versus like had it been like, I don't know, some random independent film that comes out, then we wouldn't be having these conversations saying, okay, it's probably going to get there. But all it needs is just one movie that's going to make at least 50 mil. And Indiana Jones is going to make 50 mil. Like, it could be wrong, but that's what I'm projecting. If it does that, like that's gonna really put the death sentence on it. And have you seen? Apparently, a lot of industry sources are saying it is absolutely, undeniably one of the biggest failures in Hollywood history. It's gonna be something that's probably gonna be taught in like school class, like film classes.
Things not to do. How not to make a sequel.
There's gonna be documentaries made on this, dude.
There's gonna be documentaries about
Ezra Miller goes crazy.
You mean the
directors?
Flash. Okay.
Yeah, there's gonna be documentaries on Flash for sure.
All right.
So
I was talking about the documentary on Lucasfilm.
That story's not done yet. That story
is not done.
There's more to unfold.
Okay.
What happens after Indy, I think, is where you and I are projecting.
Yeah.
Some big fireworks. We'll see.
Yeah. I can see about a month after Indy is released some movement.
I can't wait for you to see Flash though, man. I can't wait to see your reaction because I think you'll see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, the movie's probably gonna be on Max like in 2 weeks. So.
Oh yeah. You'll get it.
Watch it soon.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break, and we will return momentarily. And we're back. Joe, how disappointed are you that Marvel's not going to be at Hall H this year?
Moment of silence. Moment of silence for Marvel. No, it's sad. It's actually why I chose to even wear this hat today. It's the hat I got on Hall H last year, and so here's the thing. It's misleading. Marvel will be at San Diego Comic-Con. Marvel Studios will not be having a presentation in Hall H. And that's the most disappointing part because we as fans of the cinematic universe and as skeptics want to see what are they going to be putting out. And last year, and it's on video, it's on our channel. At the end of the panel, Kevin says, and I can't wait to see you all again next year here. So the moment we started gasping, like, oh, they're gonna be back. We also remember the actress that plays Echo, she had done I think an AMA or something on social media, and was asked what convention she'll be at, and she listed San Diego Comic Con and specifically on the Saturday, which has always been the Marvel tentpole. So we're like, okay, that they're gonna be there. The actor who plays Kingpin, same thing, was asked like a couple weeks ago, hey, we're gonna be. It's like, oh, we'll be at San Diego Comic Con. We'll see you guys on stage. So it was clearly something that was going to happen. This was something that was in the works. I understand that the instinct, and based on some of the reports, is instantly pointing at the writer's strike. I'm not buying what you're selling entirely. Is the writer's strike affecting it? Sure. But you can't tell me the timing of when this announcement came out isn't a little coincidental. The very same day in the morning, you get the Jonathan Majors hearing in court. Okay. It goes to court and they said, we're going to actually take this thing to trial because a trial date set up.
Yep.
And that very evening is when Marvel Studios leaks out, hey, we're not going. I can't help but feel like there is some things that are being discussed at Marvel's executive branch leadership saying, are we switching around some of our tent poles? Is even Kang Dynasty coming along? I think they were hoping, personally, for good news or some type of news that would, get them be at least in the gray. But the moment that thing gets moved to trial, that means that your dirty laundry is going to be put out on display. And that's when things start to get a little hairy. It's one thing when you get allegations and people saying stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
It's another thing when you get the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp public trial going on, and then it starts to get out there. You don't want your tentpole next Avengers film, Kang Dynasty.
Because the name is in the title.
It's in the title, dude. It would have been different had it been anything else. But I that's just me. There's nothing else point but me just analyzing, going, same day this happens, and then the same day that. And then just literally like a couple weeks ago, some of the actors said it was planned. They were going to be there. I'm very sad about it, Obed.
Yeah. I when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I bet Joel's like super disappointed with this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you always look forward to that, and that's when we find out stuff. But again, we go back to like what's happening, right? What's going on at Disney, and all the the shakeups and the moving around and whatnot, and the writer's strike, and it's a lot of like moving parts that at this point are not moving. they're just stuck, right? And and it's probably going to be like that for a little bit, right? And I'm sure that eventually they're going to start moving again. But I think that Disney as a whole, and again, this includes Marvel, and this includes Star Wars, Lucasfilm, and includes Pixar. Like I fear Pixar is gonna get. Didn't I predict that Pixar was gonna get absorbed by Walt Disney Pictures? Like
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's gonna get merged.
Yeah. That's probably gonna. I still stand by that.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna happen. But they cannot afford to make more mistakes.
No.
Like the time for experimenting and making mistakes is done. Like you got your competitors are doing this you used to be the top dog in this, and your competitors are doing you. So they can't afford it. Like they gotta plan this out, right? And if whatever's going on with majors is part of the thing that they gotta course correct, they'll do it.
Right.
So
But like you said, it's crazy how the competition, how quickly, dude, has taken over. Paramount is having better years than Disney. Who would have said that a few years
Paramount,
ago,
right?
dude? They come back with, Top Gun Maverick, and now they got Mission Impossible. Dude, they had Sonic come out,
Right?
and all like, and then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever, this new animated one coming out that looks like it's
Looks
probably
good.
gonna do better than most, and I'm gonna probably check that
That
out.
looks really good. Yeah.
How is Paramount having better years than like Disney? Just needs like them just give like two really good movies a year, and you would be fine. And they can't
Yeah.
get a win, and it's
No.
really bad. It's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. Universal really like took their ball. Hey,
Which is
no, that's
another
my
person
ball.
that's not gonna. Universal is also rumored. Also, they're skipping Comic Con,
Okay.
so most likely. It will just DC will have no competition, and they'll have the stage themselves.
Is that a
They have nothing but-
positive?
I know, right? It'll be
I mean,
James Gunn.
James Gunn, right? Yes.
James Gunn, first time coming out with his Gods and Monsters Chapter 1 lineup, right? So
Yeah.
it'll be a big opportunity. I thought for sure we were gonna get Fantastic Four cast on stage. I can't believe this. Anyways, you'll probably
See, he's still
I
salty
can't
about it.
believe it. I'm salty, dude. You know it.
Yep.
So yeah, you'll probably get your DC. Paramount potentially will probably have their thing. I think Sony will still be there.
Okay.
I think Sony will still be there. You have we'll talk about Craven in a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Craven, Madame Web, Beyond the Spider-Verse probably will be there, and maybe, just maybe, even the live action Miles and Spider-Man 4 could even be potentially announced, or even that Gwen Stacy series that was talked about.
Yeah.
So I think that there's still going to be enough news coming out of Comic-Con for sure. It's going to be awesome, but it's really sad when the people who throw a party, dude, they throw a party in that place and they're not going to be there. It's just heartbreaking. I'm salty. I'm
DC
salty.
without Dwayne Johnson, and
Whew.
it's gonna be like a bare bone, just like, hey, it's just gonna be James Gunn just there. Hey guys.
What's up, guys?
So yeah, very personal. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I mean, we can segue right into Craven because, wow, Joel, I did not see this looking so good. This is good. I liked it. I know. Yeah, no. What? I don't know. I see you. I liked it, man. I liked it. I like that trailer. The trailer was good. I'm not saying it was fire, right? But I was saying it's good. It's good.
I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, man, this video game is gonna do Craven better than this movie. You're gonna get beat. You're gonna get beat by a video game, bro. That's the real Craven right there. This wannabe Craven. I'm sorry, bro. I could not get actors fine, costume fine. You made him like a hybrid animal man, sniffing around and biting people's ears off. And Wolverine
without the claws.
What are you doing? He's the animal rights activist. I understand it's 2023, but there's a way to do this. There's ways to get creative. You guys look like you're just trying to cash in, and I just cannot believe it. Look, if I didn't see that Craven's name was on this, I might have been like, "Oh, this is interesting." But because I know Craven, how Spider-Man.
Maybe that's what it is.
And
I know Craven,
how I
right?
feel about Spidey, bro. That video game is gonna get it done right, better than this movie, and they both come out the same month. The game and the movie is gonna come out the same time. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be fine.
Morbius 3.
It's Morbin time.
We'll see. We'll see.
Man. So
will I check it out? That's TBD at this moment.
Oh, okay. I thought you would check it out, even if there's like a poster of Spider-Man, like a
Spidey on it,
Morbius.
so that's the thing. All it needs is like one Spidey thing in it, and
a poster of Spider-Man like Morbius did, and
like Morbius. And then I watched it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great.
I'll be at Comic Con. They'll show me like 5 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah, 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 cool. No, I mean, I liked it. It was like to me it was unexpected because I went in on unexpected, I went in
Sure.
expecting nothing, right? And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I guess you know
Yeah.
it's yeah. I mean,
The
it looked
Rhino
fun.
should be cool.
Yeah, there you go. You got like a proper rhino this time.
Yeah, that should be cool.
So yeah, cool. All right. Got a bunch of gaming news stuff that happened today. And before jumping into the Nintendo Direct, we have a very interesting piece of news, Joe, that Electronic Arts is
Yeah.
splitting. So EA is going to split into two separate companies. EA Entertainment, which will handle their IP based games, plus Apex, Battlefield, and all the other stuff they put out, and EA Sports, which of course will handle sports games. Um, that's very interesting. I have a theory. Someone's gonna buy EA Entertainment. PlayStation, maybe. I don't think
You didn't think
Xbox.
you don't think EA Sports is gonna get sold off?
I don't think EA Sports is gonna get sold off. I think EA Entertainment is gonna get sold off,
Wow,
and
interesting.
EA Sports is gonna remain its own separate thing.
Interesting.
Yep. Um,
'Cause I thought their sports division has struggled more.
I
Like,
don't
well, their
know.
Madden
They're
stuff is
mad and
okay, and
still,
their FIFA's good.
and NCAA is
NBA
coming
Live
back.
is dead, but
NCAA is coming back, and there's a lot of hype behind it. So
that's true.
I mean, they could take another another hit at NBA and see what happens, right? But I mean, we haven't had last time was like 10 years ago, right?
I know.
Yeah, it's been a
I know.
while.
I
Like
tested out some early stuff for that. I'm pretty sure that NDA is gone at this point.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, man. So that's my theory, right? I think it's like they don't want to sell everything, and they're probably gonna keep like EA Sports as their entity, and then sell off EA Entertainment. I could be wrong, right? But this is something smells like if the Activision thing goes through, which is stuck in the FTC now. I don't know if you saw that.
I know. Yeah.
So, but if that thing goes through, um, I'm 90% certain that Sony's gonna just go ahead and buy it because it's
Hmm.
probably gonna be like half the money. You got to think about it. Like EA makes most of the money is microtransactions from FIFA and Madden. So
Yeah.
um,
Does
that's
that
mhm.
does that make the next like Jedi Survivor 3 like a PlayStation exclusive?
No. That I think they're gonna keep doing the Activision thing with Sony's gonna buy them, but they're gonna keep doing like
Play nice. Yeah.
yeah like Switch stuff for the Switch and PC of course and the other stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know if you know have anything else to that they want to share regarding it, but it's a big deal news. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm good. Yep. Yep.
cool man. All right, and then today we had quite possibly the best show of like summer games, because again, freaking Nintendo comes in and stick to the basics, and they have the strong fundamentals when it comes to coming in and doing this sort of thing. So Nintendo had a show today. Uh, it was overall a very good show. Overall, very, very, very good show. So, not in order, but we'll go over the announcements. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, the long rumored new 2D Mario game that was supposed to come out with the movie, based on what I heard. That's announced coming out the same day as Spidey on October 20th. So, RP Spidey, you're gonna get demolished by Mario again. Or it's like now they're both gonna do well.
Yeah.
Um, And yeah, very different take, very unique take. Um, and when I say very different, it's when it comes to the art style. So it's a new art style. It's not sharing the same art style that the new series and the other like 3D World and all those games had. It's its own unique art style. Looks like a ton of new mechanics. They're looking to freshen it up. Of course, multiplayer. Five playable characters announced. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, and Toad. So yeah, looks cool. Looks very good. It's Mario. It's 2D Mario. It's probably gonna be excellent. And I'm in 100%. So yeah, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm in with this. I love this news. Like you said, man, Nintendo, they know how to hit a home run early on. We'll talk about the PlayStation as a whole, but just this bit of news right away was just beautiful, great to hear. The timing, ironic, like you mentioned. I joked with you. I was like, so what's first? And you're like, both. And I just instantly heard like, what's that commercial with the little girl, the old one with like
Old
the
El
taco?
Paso. Yeah.
Old El
Well,
Paso, yeah.
¿por qué
Why are
no
you?
lo estás?
That's exactly what I heard all of a sudden. Or I also hear instantly the Iron Man, meme, the Jericho, why not both, right? Like
Yeah.
same thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my mindset too. Appealing to different audiences. So Nintendo's gonna win no matter what on that one. Good for them. But yeah, it's a great bit of news, something that I look forward to picking up myself. And
Yep.
going into the holidays, I have to imagine that that's gonna be maybe something that could get bundled
Ooh,
deals as well going
bro.
in.
Bundle this thing with the OLED. Like a
Right.
blowout
Like,
sale
that will
for the
move.
OLED
That will
before the
move.
new Switch comes out.
Yep, that'll move
I'm,
consoles.
I'm still, because, yeah, I still need to find out that shrimp, sir. We'll
Oh,
make it
well, that
happen. I
might
don't
be the
know.
last episode of the year. Open's gonna eat a
I don't
shrimp
know
on the show.
how. I don't know how. It may not even be an episode of it. It's probably us going to lunch one day,
Yeah,
and I could just
yeah.
order a freaking separate, a single
I'll have to
shrimp.
edit that. Yep.
We can go to Bento and order. Can I guess just a single like panko
Like
shrimp?
most ask like the waiter or waitress, like we got a really weird request. We just need a
Just a
single
single shrimp. That's it.
put on a small plate. We'll drop you $1. Oh my gosh, bro.
That's great.
Just watching
Uh,
over it, having a great time with that.
that's great. But it looks good. I showed, of course I gotta show it to my daughter, and she thought it was very different, and she liked it. It was like, oh yeah, that's good, and but just like, but it's not Mario Odyssey 2, because that's what she wants. Like
Yeah,
she's been just like,
yeah,
where's Mario Odyssey 2 coming out? She's been asking for it for like 3 years now. So make it
absolutely.
happen, Nintendo. Man, you know what? That could be the one that releases with the new Switch instead of what I thought Tears of the Kingdom was gonna be. So also, like quick update on Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I'm still you know how it is. It's that game should
it's
not
gotcha.
that game should not exist. Like I realized it playing it over the weekend, and I did come to that moment where it's like this game should not exist on this hardware. It should not. This should not work.
Yeah.
And it only opened the like in my head, right? It's like if these guys are able to do this with the Switch, right? Could you imagine what could they do if they had like a PS5 type machine?
Mm,
It just I don't. It's scary, dude. These guys are
yeah.
so freaking good. I don't know how this game works. This game is like on a different level. It's it really is a groundbreaking thing. It really is.
Mm.
It's honestly crazy. Also, Street Fighter 6, I actually got to play it. It was very good. It's very good.
Awesome.
I'm really rusty though. Really rusty. I gotta. It's gonna take a while until we can check that raw stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Um, uh, big announcement: Super Mario RPG is getting a remake coming out this November.
Yeah.
Um, this is huge. This is a
Yeah.
really good game that a lot of people love. So, um,
This is probably bigger. This is the biggest, probably might be the biggest announcement of the
I
show.
think this is gonna sell better than Wonder
Yeah.
because of a lot of the people that played it back in the SNES days. They're gonna go back and play it. This game
And then
this game came out very late in the Super Nintendo. This like the N64 was already out when this game
yeah.
came out. So um a lot of people are gonna really go for this game. Like I'm like I'll play it probably. I'm not gonna get it right away, but I'll probably eventually I'll get to it.
Yeah.
Or I can just play it on the Super Nintendo Mini, which I played it like about halfway through, and just didn't go back to. But it's a very good game. So this game is very very good. Not too complex of an RPG, very easy to
Mm,
follow,
mm,
very
yeah.
good writing. The music is absolutely excellent. So
Mm,
this is this is a big people are oh, it's a remake. Like this is a big deal. This is a big
right.
deal remake though.
Mm.
Detective Pikachu 2 coming out also in October. So this had a pretty good trailer. Yeah, a lot of people really excited for it. Detective Pikachu did really well on the was it 3DS, right? 3DS when it came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people have been clamoring for a new one. The movie came out and no tie-in came out. So uh, yeah, there's another big release coming out this year. Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 1.
Oh,
We
it's gonna pick this up.
we
How
got
many copies do you have of some of these?
two,
What's another copy for you?
sure. Am I gonna get it on the Switch though? I don't know. Um,
Take it on the go.
that's true though. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's why I bought the Cowabunga
That's
collection on the Switch too, because
you
I had on
have
the
it now.
go.
Like
Yeah,
once you have it, it's there, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. You're right. You're right. And this is not like graphic intensive games. They're like
Right.
PS2 games. Yeah, yeah, and PS1
Right.
games. So
That'll be
I can
fine.
work really good on the Switch. Yeah. So that is also coming out in October 24th. So
Loaded.
I know October's gonna be nuts. Um, this is one of those that I'll probably get later on. I'm not in a rush to get it,
Sure.
but I'll probably get around to it. Just so I can have a copy. Um, and yeah, loaded with a bunch of like extra features and the strategy guides and the NES versions of the games, like the OG games that came out on the NES. So yeah, there was a good stuff there. Because there was no date announced when this there was no date when this was announced at the PlayStation event. So now we got a date for that. A couple of new amiibos coming out for Tears of the Kingdom. WarioWare Move It. It's more of a WarioWare party game. Do you ever get into any of those?
No, no, not really.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I've seen them casually, but
Yeah.
not my thing. But I know that some people like them. So
Yeah.
a lot of new details on Pikmin 4. There's another game coming out pretty soon. So this
It's a cute game.
yeah, Pikmin was popular back in the GameCube days, and
Yeah.
they also shadow dropped the 1 and 2 today, so those are out in the eShop. And a lot of people looking forward to this one next gen, or current gen. I don't want to say next gen, current gen Pikmin. So it looks charming. It looks very good, and these games are very well liked. So expansion for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. More stuff for Mario Kart 8. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. This is a 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion, or it's like Luigi's Mansion 2, basically.
Mm.
And so that's coming out on the Switch as well. They're reporting that from 3DS. And they announced a new Peach game. No date, no title. It's just a Peach game. So that's going to do really well, I think, too. Because, everyone loves peaches, right? So. um,
the Princess Peach mystery game, that was pretty cool.
yep. There's a new Dragon Quest Monsters, the Dark Prince. It's coming out. They confirmed that Sonic. We already knew it, but Sonic Superstars is coming out on the Switch.
Four
And
player co-op too
yeah,
offline.
yeah, that they had already confirmed that. Um, it looks good running on the Switch. It looks fine. It looks like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a competent port. You know, unlike unfortunately, I don't know if you've seen any videos of what's the big one, Frontiers on the
No, no, I
Switch.
haven't seen
It's rough.
footage.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Switch version is rough. Like, of course, you know, you can't really compare it to like the like PS5 and Xbox version, but it's it's a considerable downgrade when you look at it. So, but yeah, this looks good. This looks like a, you know, a fun time. So, Joel, the Arkham trilogy coming to Switch. How do you feel about that?
That was shocked to see it. I'm a big fan of this. Like, again, another not graphics intensive for its time. Coming into to the Switch. Like, I think this will be fine. I
We
mean,
got Arkham Knight though. It's not the PS4 game.
that's true. How is that gonna look, Obed?
I don't know. It looked fine. It didn't look like
Right?
the lighting looked weird on the trailer though. Like the
It's
lighting looked.
probably it's the yeah. Did Arkham Knight only released on PS4? Or did it release on PS3
No,
also?
it's PS4 and Xbox One.
PS4 and Xbox One. That's what
It's
I
next
thought.
gen. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When it came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That could be a real test of fate at that moment, how it works out. But
Yeah.
no, I'm a fan of bringing over stuff like this, right? Like when they brought over multiple of the Assassin's Creed PS3 games over, right? Like games that you
Yeah.
wouldn't normally get this kind of genre on a Switch, but hey, like you may own a copy, but now you've got a newer copy on a portable console that you couldn't have gone before. Like I would never have played Arkham Knight on a handheld, but now that it's going to be here, I can get that and I can have that experience again. Could be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Might be worth checking out. Star Ocean, the second story R. This is a remake of Star Ocean 2 coming out for Switch. Also confirmed coming out for PS5, PS4, and PC. Persona 5 Tactica. This was announced at the Xbox event. So this is also coming out on the Switch. Myth Force. So I'm gonna pause because I think Myth Force looks pretty dope. You
Tell me
know,
about it.
this totally looks like a. I mean, they emphasized it right on the trailer that they were going for the '80s Saturday morning cartoon thing. It does look like, you know, He-Man and the Dungeons and Dragons show and Thundercats. It kind of looks like a mix of all that, right? So that looks. I this game I wouldn't mind checking out. It's a roguelike, so procedurally generated dungeons. I'm guessing, um, and it's a first person game. So yeah, it's coming out later this year. I don't know if it's affordable. I wouldn't mind checking this game out. To be honest with you, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Hmm.
So looks cool. Expansion for Mario Rabbids and Splatoon 3, Just Dance 2024 officially announced. And that's basically it. Oh yeah, this game looks pretty good. Penny's Big Breakaway. It's the little girl with a yo-yo.
Yeah.
It's made by the guys that did Sonic Mania. So this game reminds me a lot of the uh like the Sega platformers from back in like Knights and what's the kid with the egg on the GameCube? Billy Hatcher.
Oh
It kind of
yeah.
reminds me of Billy Hatcher a lot. So yeah, this game looks good. This game looks good. Another one that I wouldn't mind checking out, or I didn't get too far in to show it to my daughter. I just showed her the Mario stuff, right? And she was watching the rest of the direct by herself, but we didn't get to this part. And I'm totally gonna show it to her tomorrow and see what she thinks. But it really looks good. Looks good. So yeah, that's this kind of basically it. There were some other minor announcements, but overall, I think this was the best show that we got in the summer. Like it
Absolutely.
was better than the PlayStation show, better than the Xbox show, better than the Summer Games Fest. I gotta put an asterisk, right? Because for that Final Fantasy VII trailer, it blew my socks off. So, also Final Fantasy 16 coming out tomorrow. It's getting really
Yeah.
good reviews. It's got a 9, and it's from IGN, and it's doing really well on Metacritic. I'm so happy. I'm very excited. So
Oh boy.
yeah, and what's crazy is that game's probably gonna have to wait until next month because I really want to keep playing Zelda. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna leave Zelda alone. I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. But yeah, it's a good stuff. It's been a fantastic year for gaming, and it looks like it's gonna get even better. So,
Hmm.
it's basically what we got for today, Joel. If you want to just go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much for sticking with us for this episode. Obed did not get to watch Secret Invasion. I know that that's out right now. I did get to check it out. Look out for a full breakdown of episode 1 and 2, most likely next week. But yeah, look, please stick with us. Stay subscribed on podcast platforms of your choice, places like SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed. Write a review on the podcast platform if you're a subscriber. That really helps us out. Also subscribe to the video version on the No Load Time YouTube channel. Thank you for everyone supporting us on that channel. You get a bunch of great content on there. The individual movie reviews we drop, clips from every episode, and much more. So make sure you stay subscribed, and upcoming convention coverage too that's going to be coming in there. So make sure you're subscribed. Also follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can see the handle down below if you're watching the video version. Also, if you would also follow us on Twitch, No Load Time Altogether. It's No Load Time Altogether on Twitch. We broadcast live our recordings of the podcast, and maybe even some future gameplay could be coming in there. So always stick around. Additionally, we want to invite you to send an email to us if you have a question, comment, feedback. We might be able to talk about it on a future episode. So send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. We're so glad that you got to join us today. We look forward to being with you on our next episode. See you then.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.